So as we're rounding out our trip here in South Africa, we're starting to pack up, finalizing the last things, but the wind died down. So just before we go, we're grabbing a quick trip here to the beach. Joelle chose not to go because she's a little burnt still, so probably not best before a flight, but we're gonna spend some time on the beach and actually see it since the wind's not blowing at like 50 miles an hour right now. It's actually kind of cold, but it's the beach, so I feel like we have to do this. That's cold. Downside of coming on a day when there is not very much wind is there's not very much waves either. It's just very cold and not that wavy, but still cool seeing the beach while we're here before we go back to winter in Michigan. The ocean got a little bit cold. We decided to stick with the pool. It's a lot warmer. Ever since I was little, laying out in the sun is something that I would spend hours doing. It's interesting traveling to different countries because that changes geographically how the sun acts. And spending time here in South Africa is something that we definitely had to take that into account because the UV here is a lot stronger in the sun than we're used to in the States. And if you watched either our Blythe Canyon video or our Cedarburg video, you noticed that both Joelle and I got fairly burnt in both of those trips just because we weren't prepared. We didn't put on enough sunscreen. So one of the things that we'd recommend is when you're traveling, just pay attention to where you are and if the sun is going to be stronger or weaker. And that brings us to where are we? We've been here in South Africa now for a little over 3 weeks, and for most of the time that we've been here, we've been staying in Cape Town, specifically Gordons Bay, at my aunt and uncle's house, which they have graciously allowed us to stay at, and they had space. So we'd like to spend a little time, show you around it. It's really nice. We swim in the pool a little bit, but it goes up, and we're just going to take a little while to walk you guys through this because it's a really nice house that we've really enjoyed being at, and we wanted to share it with you guys.
This is the top of where we are staying in Cape Town. As you can see, there is a gate behind me. That's pretty common here because there is a pretty high crime rate in South Africa. So most places you go, you'll see gates, whether it's restaurants or houses. This is no exception. Where we're staying actually has 5 levels. So we're gonna take you guys through 3 of them. So let's get started. When you step in, this is the first room you see. It's this gorgeous entryway that has a beautiful view of the sea. There's a beach down there that you can't quite see, but it's accessible to us if we want to be able to pop down there real quick and private. It's nice. And then this feature is kind of unique because you can see down to the next level where we're going to take you. Very cool glass floor circle there, and that you can see the kitchen. So let's go on down. Before we go down the stairs, this is an elevator that was included for the grandparents, and it's nice for groceries, suitcases, things like that. So there is an elevator. And here we come to the lounge area slash dining room slash kitchen. On this side, we have a nice lounge area which leads to my favorite spot of the entire place, this beautiful patio. Let me show you. This is my favorite spot of the entire place. A gorgeous view of the ocean. It's where I can come. Usually I will sit here if it's not too windy or sunny, and I will work and enjoy my coffee. Then back here we have the kitchen, which is where we have our meals and coffee. And then behind me is a cleanup room, which has a washer, dryer, dishwasher, things like that. And then over here is the master bedroom, which we're not going to show you just out of privacy. And I feel like this deserves special mention. The Nespresso machine. We don't have any fancy coffee machines at home, which I love our McCoffee instant coffee, not instant coffee pot, whatever.
Drip.
But this has been a nice treat while we've been here. And then over here, this is where we eat most of our meals together. It's another really nice patio with lots of ample seating for groups. Another beautiful view. Now we're gonna take you guys downstairs.
So this is the third floor. This is more of like your living space, where you have like a pool table in the middle. It's entertaining space. There's a bar over in the corner. So when there's people here, this is the common place that we'll do it. But before that happens, I want to bring you over this way. This little area over here was really cool. Since they have a small kid, they actually have in the narrow space next to where the house is, a little playground where he got to play out here, and also like a little garden where some of his stuff is. Cool that there's this little space even though there's not that much property or lawn. This common area here kind of borders on the big windows to the pool, with this area that looks out over the bay that Joelle was talking about earlier. And we can go out this way. It connects into the other rooms we're gonna go to. On this side you have the first bedroom with an ensuite bathroom here. This is where my parents have been staying. As you can see, we're packing up since we're leaving very soon. But this is their room with an ensuite bathroom over on the side. Coming back out here, these are the double doors that stay open. You come over here to one of Joelle's other favorite places, a place with cushions where you can sit and read and just kind of hang out here. And it also has shade during the day, so you're able to see out into the bay while still being able to feel the breeze and everything. It's very sunny out here. A lot of laundry gets sun dried. There's also a hot tub over here that opens up so that you can just sit out here in the evenings looking out over the bay. This brings us into the other double doors where Joelle and I are staying. Bedroom, lots of mirrors, cupboard space. It's been a pretty good room. It's nice being able to look out the windows there over the hot tub into the bay. Down the hallway, here's another bedroom where Erica's been staying. And then you have a bathroom here with a decently large tub and a shower in there. And we're back here to the common area. I know we said we weren't going to show you guys the rest of the floors, but just kind of a small sample. These stairs go down to the fourth floor, or the second floor, fourth floor from the top, where there's an apartment space where they'll have people stay sometimes, and then the fifth floor down, or the first floor, I always get confused, is a garage that's on the bottom roadside level. So you can actually approach the house from both sides, and there's a garage on the top floor and the bottom floor. But that kind of rounds out the space we've been staying. That brings us to traveling day. Most of us have our COVID tests at this point. Dad and I got our results last night. Joelle called the lab this morning, still waiting on hers, and our flight's in like 6-7 hours. So we're still waiting on that. We're hoping that comes through. It's supposed to come in like another hour and a bit. Now we have to fit our lives into a suitcase, 2 carry-ons, and a backpack. On the way here, we were a little bit over on our carry-on, so we had to check one of them, and we left some things in the carry-on that someone was not very happy about. So we're gonna plan ahead this time and check one of them intentionally so that we can have what we need while we're traveling.
So yesterday we went and we got our test done, me, Linton, and his dad. I think they got like an urgent stamp on theirs and I didn't. So they both got their negative test results last night, whereas mine still hadn't come through this morning. So just got my results. I am negative. Woo! We're going home.
Bye, Ocean. It's been good. And we're off to the airport. Now to be early and to make all our flights.
Yay.
Yay.
Backpacks will have to ride with us.
I may have had a few too many bags for the back. Very good Tetris though. Now to get in, check all our stuff, the 5 bags that we have that need to get checked, then make it through security. Due to COVID, we now get to fill out these fun forms going through airports and look up all the information that we clearly don't have memorized. So it's a team effort as we I'll do it here. Found our airplane. It was like right outside of passport control. Checking out the little curio stores, got some water, hand sanitize a couple more times. Kind of weird being in the international terminal here in Cape Town right now because with everything that's happening, there's like no one here in this terminal. It's pretty much empty down here except for the one gate that we're at. Definitely an odd feeling. Reminds me of flying around March 2020 domestic in the United States where there was like no one in the airport. So inevitably when we travel, Joelle always takes a couple things with her. One is leggings, two is slippers. For some reason, it's very important that we take slippers, and they have to go in every bag.
It's very important. They're very cozier.
But she wears her indoor slippers all around an airport, and then she gets confused why I don't want her putting them on a couch when we get home.
Okay, I understand. I don't do that anymore. We made it onto our flight. It doesn't look like it's full, but it's also not empty, so it's kind of in the middle. Our first leg is about 10.5 hours, and then we have a quick couple-hour layover before it's another 11.5 hours back to Chicago. So we are in for a couple non-stop days of travel. This is going to be fun. We made it to Istanbul, an airport that we've now slightly familiar with because we spent 9 hours here on the way here. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's a couple weeks ago. It's an interesting airport. We were a little bit shocked when we got off of our airplane into basically freezing degree weather to board buses because we thought we were going to be taking an air bridge. So both Dad and I were in short sleeves. We have 2 hours before our next flight leaves, have just enough time to squeeze in a shower. So there's this spa in the Istanbul airport where you can get a 20-minute rain shower. They provide a towel, shampoo, all the things. So I am very excited. I figured it out. So needed. It's -2 Celsius.
The last flight we were on ended up being about 3/4 full. I have a little bit more hope that there'll be less people because we were like a third of the way into the line and there's like 10 people in this section right now. So here's to hoping we get a row to ourselves. It's fairly cold enough here that the wings of our airplane froze, so we taxied away from the gate and now we're waiting for them to de-ice our plane, which is actually pretty cool because it's the first time I've ever seen it. But it's they're just spraying our wings. So there's enough seats that we can lie down on our benches.
We made it home! I'm so excited.
And that was all the footage we took for the whole trip. We got picked up. We were so tired from 20+ hours of traveling that we put down the camera and never picked it up again. But we are now back in the States. We are starting to work with our clients again, so looking forward to posting a lot more of our photo shoot type content and traveling to work with clients in our actual business now. Super excited about taking you guys along. If you missed any of the South Africa videos, check those out in the playlist on the side over here. Otherwise, see you guys next week.